G2.iG's draft is that these heroes, again, are very elusive, very difficult to kill. Let's say you don't manage to kill Weaver, he gets time-lapse off Meepo with the Mega Meepo, with the Dig ability, Inkswell, Shaker. There's a lot of, like, turnaround potential coming out from G2.iG.
Yeah, it sure is. They put a lot of weight on this Meepo as well. Like thinking back to the Huskar and Necro bans, sure about that mid lane in part, but they're also very good heroes against this Meepo as the game drags on with his Aghanim Scepter. A smoke wraparound from Gaimin Gladiators going to get them into the mid lane in behind that tier 1 with an Observer Ward. G2.iG are all in the vicinity though. This is a little spooky. Gaimin Gladiators do have a strong level 1 lineup here to fight, as do the Chinese squad.
They know.
Observer Ward sees IG.
They just noticed Dyrachyo passing by near the tier 2 tower. Observer Ward has been placed by Celery between tier 1 and tier 2 to provide some, extra vision. Maybe they get a first jump. Gonna get the ward as well. Some extra XP going their way.
And now the bounty runes. We do have one player down in that bottom right. It's the Enchantress just waiting. Try and take one of them. And Monet grabs the other. So 2 for 2. The river runes belong to Gaimin Gladiators, but the jungle ones go over to G2.iG. So Enchantress, Meepo lane. Nothing to say in the mid. Earthshaker against Lina. And we'll keep our eyes on that one because so often we get these kind of boring mid matchups where it's melee, just farm trading, range versus ranged, farm trading, just getting water runes. This one though, you can see Quinn piling quite a lot of damage onto Nothing to Say and maybe even looking for earlier kills.
Yeah, we also seen like Lina when she's playing against melee. JT, not gonna say in trouble, but already down to 10-15% HP.
Yeah, I mean, he comes back to get one hit on the gyro. Celery dropping low himself, but Dyrachyo pushing a lot of early damage already onto this dire off lane. Homing missile level 1, yeah. And good early regen trades for Gaimin Gladiators. And they're able to come back and gather up a lot of that CS. Yes, 3. And there's still a range creep to take as another homing missile comes out to chase JT.
Oh, they're completely zoning them out. I also want to see if Dyrachyo, because he's been known to put like multiple points into Rocket Barrage. He wants to battle it out. I like his mentality. A lot of the times, Dyrachyo does remind me of Quost. The way he played Dota during his prime is just like full divide Dotka, wants to push the limits, and Baboka understands that they can't really lane here, so gonna drag the creep wave behind.
What was the old Havost mean with the 4? Just go dive tier 4s, get 4 rapiers.
Yeah, that's it. JT again. Homing missile.
So much damage. I mean, yeah, Enchantress had to drag the wave all the way around behind tier 1. Gyro, they're contesting this though. Look at the dire waves come back in again. Sit in the creep wave and keep clicking JT. Courier slips away from Baboka. Celery trying to keep himself in the fog. And who cares about these other lanes? Nah, don't look into mid. Nothing to say. He's taking a few hits, but he's all right trading last hits with the Lina. And bottom lane, that's where all the action is.
Yeah, we've seen this build on Lina, putting like Fiery Soul as your second ability, and then just keep reapplying it to have maximum stack charges, those 7, and then against the melee hero, it's just so difficult to deal with.
It looks like G2.iG recovering. I don't want to say recovered yet in this bottom lane. 4 last hits for the Meepo so far, getting something at the very least compared to the nothing he was getting earlier on. But just looking at that last hit chart, right? 14-3, 13-4, 13-3. It is almost utter perfection from Gaimin Gladiators compared to the difficulties the G2.iG are suffering already in this first 3 minutes of the laning stage.
Yeah, Weaver as carry, like early on, you don't have much to provide. Your Shikuchi is on 15-second cooldown, so you got to be extremely careful, especially in this type of a lane where you're playing against Primal Beast and Dark Willow. These heroes can easily kill you. At least they have a really good combo. Inkswell, one of the best, if not the best hero in the game, to use it at the early stages. Inkswell on top of Weaver. I want to see if he puts the point in Swarm on level 3.
Wonk. There we go. Focus taking a bit of chip damage. Does get himself a bounty rune. Yeah, we can look into these other lanes. Quinn, 17-6, starting to pile it on to this Earthshaker now. And could pressure Nothing to Say away from this creep wave, potentially. Has plenty of mana. We've already seen Earthshaker having to grab raindrops just to protect himself, knowing how difficult this lane is becoming.
Quinn, he has Glyph available. Let's see if he pops it. He's tend to play super aggressive with it, but doesn't land LSA.
Yeah, I guess with the side lanes having difficulties, it also means MTS will not have support rotating to guard his runes. So he's going to have to try and, walk into the river and hope Quinn doesn't follow him. We'll bottle one up. Quinn can go down to the south one if he wants to. Now there's domination in that mid lane for Quinn. 11 last hits for JT, up to 12 now. Suffering, as the pressure is relentless in Gaming Gladiators. Still no kills though. This is just perfect last hitting, perfect laning. Don't need to kill your opponents. It's that thing, right? Where if you cliff someone, you don't want them to TP. You just want to keep them up there forever. Keep them all on low HP. Don't kill them. Just make them suffer and bleed for the entirety of the game.
This flat cannon is causing a lot of issues in the bottom lane. Doratio having pretty much perfect CS top lane. It's only... I tried to go on Weaver, but definitely a difficult kill to get.
Sure is. Dark Willow and Primal Beast, now they're getting their levels though. Could offer a lot of kill threat on this Grimstroke. Props to the supports on G2.iG, kind of sitting back in the fog, not getting caught, not getting killed. And potential rotation from the Grim now as well. He's been off map for a little while. Might be called out by Gaming Gladiators that the Twin Gate play is happening. Let's see if Gaming Gladiators can keep this Bio Gyro alive and away from danger. Is there. Catching up onto Doratio with a blood grenade and an ink swell. They're on this gyro, but they heal Hillary, keeping him topped up until the stroke of fate claims his life. The first blood and first, a real big move there from G2.iG, gets him the kill on the gyro.
Nice move from Xnova. Goes through the gates, uses an opportunity because Monet was farming underneath the tower, and also, as we said, if you don't get caught by brambles, you're most likely gonna survive. As soon as JT hits 2 Meepos, they're playing super aggressive, and now he's dragging the creep wave with that second Meepo. Or is that a main Meepo?
Who knows? Yeah, I was saying they're not going to get support rotations, but you've got Meepo as an additional +1. Well, cherry on top to come in. Well, Laguna Blade from Quinn clears through nothing but
he's mid now.
Fisher did block him in that river. For JT, the big carry for G2.iG comes in to get another kill.
Roaming Meepo, you coming to your pubs after this game. I bet a lot of people in the chat are like, oh man, I want to play some Meepo right now.
Don't do it, guys. It's not worth it, folks.
Your behavior score will drop by 500 in that one game, so...
Even if you do well, it's just by default. You pick Meepo, your behavior score drops.
Tofu, in a bit of trouble here.
Yeah, it's the JT. You're right. It's the roaming gang can kill in Meepo. The death squad is coming. No matter who he's with. Boka, Xnova, gathering up and looking for Tofu to get another kill. Who cares last hits in lane? He was 0 last hits 2 minutes in. Now he's got 3 kills.
He has the same amount of farm as mid lane now. Quinn was dominating that matchup, and now JT, he's all over the place. I also want to see what the build on Meepo is going to be, because I've seen a lot of, like, just a Dragon Lance for stats. I've also seen a Diffusal Blade. I think this is the big one, where you're just burning mana, and later on you can build into Disperser, have like Hasted Meepo, because it's AoE after picking up the Blink Dagger, and of course, Mega Meepo, that's your main item.
Yeah, Aghanim Scepter. Get that up and running. Earthshaker, picking up the pieces. Did die to that Lina in the mid lane, so you see the gap there, about 400 net worth behind her. The difference in last hits, now looking at the difference in net worth, there's not that big of a gap. Only a 1k net worth lead for Gaming Gladiators. Quinn going to have the backup of Celery in that mid lane. Laguna Blade is ready, but nothing to say will block their path. Just throw the Fisher out. A lot of emphasis on this middle lane now. Gaimin bringing 3 heroes in. Xnova trying to find the little bits of vision they've got around here. This gives room to Monet, the Weaver, a hero we've not really talked about this match because it's been very quiet up north. He's getting his farm on now, finally.
Not involved into anything, but as you said, starting to get some farm. Going into Dragonlance, going into that Deso Shard build that we did mention. The fights are going to be really chaotic once G2.iG starts to pick some of the items, like if we're talking about 1-2 items. Ace gonna make a move on Monet, but Monet has time lapse available. Ace did nothing to say.
And now he comes nothing to say. Hasted up with an extra the Grimstroke in behind him. Inkswell forward, damage is coming. There's the enchant to finish him off with a Laguna Blade from Quinn. Rotation in from Lena finds the cross kill. Well done by Gaming Gladiators to find something from that, because it was a good move by G2.iG to swing onto this Ace Primal Beast.
Meepo making a move. JT in a pig mode. Wanted to speed things up, but now back to the bottom lane.
Yeah, caught up in the cooldown, loses a lot of his HP, and Duracho will use this opportunity to dive in, looks for the kill. Can he finish it? Not quite! The heal coming in helps the Meepo out, and now the turnaround. Inkswell won't land, Xnova put him on himself, and the relocate gets them back to safety, but might put the IO in a dangerous spot when he returns.
Yeah, he's donezo. There is Inkswell available in a couple of seconds. Celery will not even try to TP out or anything, we'll save it for later.
Even wants to die faster, runs into the tier 2, understands his fate is already sealed, rather die quicker.
Radiant
And respawn to get out on the map. About 1,000 gold until nothing to say has his blink now. Another big swing item for G2.iG a couple of minutes down the line. And with the laning phase fully breaking down with all these Meepo moves, we'll start to see this Grimstroke really get involved with the Inkswells. Again, at the end of that draft, looking at how many partners he's got. Xnova, no matter where he is on the map, he's got people to play with.
JT getting closer to his Aghanim Scepter. Straight up rushing it. Needs another 1,500 gold. Imagine Mega Meepo with Inkswell Shard Dispel. Like, this hero is just not gonna die. Like, how do you kill this beast?
Yeah, it's gonna be rough. Might just have to ignore the Meepo, focus everybody else first.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
2 to 5. It was a slow start to the game. A little bit of burst of action, and then back to chilled farming as JT takes up post in that top left corner. Dark Willow's in behind. Ace just going to drag Creep Wave into the large camp. G2.iG spread pretty wide across this map. Does leave the Weaver a little exposed bottom. Slippery hero, but not too much instant, consistent control from Gaming Gladiators to catch him.
Yeah, he needs to overextend. They need to surprise him with some like LSA from Fog. Racho farming this big camp. Monet.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Lowest net worth core at the moment after that one death. It also... You have Meepo in your team, so I think JT's gonna be like carry for the first 20-25 minutes of the game, so Monet will sacrifice some of his farm for it.
Long extension here from Gaming Gladiators to get into the ancient spot. An echo slam there from the Earthshake. Close up Tofu. Now Duracho and Stellar are in trouble too. Cleared out by IG as they come swarming in. Duracho and Quinn holding the staircase for now. Monet was considering his options, but they've realized that Ace is arriving. The big bad beast looking to take down this ancient stack and clear it out under their noses. IG, they want to contest this for Monet, but it's a difficult one.
No time lapse on Monet. Needs to be slightly more careful. Pulverize is available, but they're gonna steal back some of those ancient creeps.
Honestly, overall, that feels okay. Like losing a couple of heroes, but stealing the ancient stacks, getting your cores farmed up. And G2.iG, they responded, but didn't get too much outside of those 2 support kills. Immediately smoking and trying to play down into the bottom lane. Duracho is all alone. This Gyro should be dead here unless Gaming Gladiators can sniff this one out. Weaver Shikuching forward. Duracho, he kills it now. Out of that invis as Quinn TP's in. He's looking for Xnova. Raindrops, ooh, into the tree line, but the last hit will come. Gyrocopter stays alive. Quinn just on his own defending this as G2.iG didn't get everybody on top of him. Monet still trying to go for this. Rocket Barrage, a lot of damage on the Weaver now. And Quinn trying to play from the tree line. Finally, they get the Gyro kill. Does eventually die, and you're right. JT's Meepo in from behind, finds the kill on a big target.
That's some good moves from G2.iG, managing to secure the kill, get the the kill on the tower as well, and they're gonna get another one. Like, they're gonna start playing, I'd say, super aggressive with this Aghanim Scepter on Meepo and Blink Dagger on Earthshaker. Also, Roshan's gonna be on Dire's side, so be ready for them to take it in the next few minutes.
It was almost like bait in that bottom lane. Like the Weaver and the Grimstroke show on the Gyro, and then Lina comes, they kill the Grimstroke, and Game Gladiators feel happy, right? Oh, they didn't kill Gyro, we killed one of them. And you can see G2.iG have 4 heroes kind of waiting in the fog, looking to see who overextends, who shows next. Looking for that permanent moment to strike. There's nothing to say in the mid lane. Terrorized, bedlammed up, hit by the stun, and cleared out. He's gone a little too deep now. If he was dangling himself, he's gonna lose his life, and Baboka might be in trouble too. Pulverizing kills for a Tofu double.
Yeah, that's a perfect play from Tofu. The Bramble Maze placement into Terrorize, pushes him back into Bramble immediately. A little too aggressive there. Nothing to say. There was the rest of the team not there to back him up, but we do have Mega Meepo available going into Shard, going into Dig. So that's going to be extra survivability for him.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Gyrocopter working on his Ag still. A little away from that. Grimstroke sat behind this Earthshaker, looking to see who comes. But Gaming Gladiators, they take the tower. They slip back into farming mode. A lot of creeps down on that bottom lane to gather. And Ace, nicely done here, going to clear some stacks in that northern jungle. Well, look at that. Still a Wisdom Rune here for Tofu to take. A smoke up from G2.iG. They're trying to trail the big footprints in the ground. The terrible lizard man. He's left his mark, but he's already evacuated.
They would love to take a fight before they go for Roche. They do have more than enough damage just to go, but I guess they don't want to risk it. And they also want to take out this tower for potential buybacks and TPs to a tier 1 tower. Baboka starting to put some pressure on it with the creep. And also they want Monet to finish off his big item. That's Deso. And then going into Shard to be able to apply that Deso in AoE. Anyone that been hit by Shikuchi gets hit by Deso.
I mean, this past 30 seconds has been textbook from Gaming Gladiators. They go in, they clear out tier 1 tower, they sweep back through their own jungle, and they're off the map. They're in the fog for quite some time, kind of knowing that G2.iG want to smoke and play aggressively into them. So for 30 seconds, you don't see any Gaming Gladiators heroes until Gyro IO show in the mid lane, and now Primal Beast shows on an observer ward up at top, but G2.iG have already fallen back to go to farm. So that aggressive move comes to nothing. Their item timings coincide, but it's kind of bypassed by Gaming Gladiators, who are waiting to get to their next round of items.
Aghanim Scepter finished
Ace.
on Gyro, as you mentioned. Ace very close to his heart, but gonna die here.
He sure is. And they do get the move in the end. Ace overextending there just a touch. Double observer wards were keeping tabs on him, so G2.iG were able to set up and get into position quickly.
Ace will have good 35 seconds to think about whether he wants to play Meepo in the next game.
Radiant's top tower
And it's all it took. One big kill that's gonna secure them Roche.
That's a pretty good hero, hey? I'd love to play a bit of Meepo.
Radiant's middle tower
JT, there's nothing to say in the Roshan.
Meepo, when you have 3 of them and you have Shard,
middle tower
it just reminds me of Pokemon. Dog Trio, you can like dig underground.
Who's that Pokemon?
And that's the easiest one to guess.
Well, Tofu didn't find that Obs Ward. Must be just out of range of that sentry. Nearly gets run over by the Weaver coming his way. High ground ward there on the little spire for Gaming Gladiators, so they can see stuff coming. And then Tofu's holding the staircase. Yeah, but that Obs Ward sees them coming. Might see the TPs as well from Quinn's Lina. And that's why G2.iG just fully retreating. They know that Gaming Gladiators have expended quite a lot of resources here. TPing, moving 5 heroes top. So the rest of the map, 80% of the map now belongs to the Dire team for sure.
Gaming Gladiators still keeping up with the farm of G2.iG, managing to... But, you know, this is Meepo who's farming on a different side of the map, so Gaming Gladiators still in a good spot. Let's see. Meepo has been found.
Yeah, this could be a really good move. Try and blow him up with that move from Tofu. Pulverize him, but
Mega
He
Meepo.
He can't be touched
He's
now, can he?
underneath the ground.
He's underground, and in comes Nothing to Say. Blows up Tofu, aims for Ace. Primal Beast in trouble, trying to remove themselves from this fight, but Gaimin Gladiators can do nothing but stand and battle into this Meepo, and they all die for it. They do TP out Dyrachyo, but my god, you aim for the Aegis Meepo, who is just insurmountable amount of tankiness and damage that he turns to kill you.
Yeah,
Look at that, they all did the same amount of damage, 10k per team, but one team loses 3 and the other team loses nothing.
They try to go on him, but he turns into Mega Meepo and then goes underground. Also, Shard from Grimstroke, they're managing to get a Dispel, and after he gets Mega Meepo, it's like you blew out everything. It's going to be impossible to kill. Quinn dealing 5,000 damage in that fight, it's still not enough. This is where G2.iG feel really strong, and they're going to go in one more time. Gaming Gladiators, they might need to be able to like go for the pickoffs. The problem is they don't have this like instant initiation. Primal Beast is not that kind of a guy that builds into a Blink Dagger early on to just jump one guy, follow it up with, let's say, relocate into LSA Laguna Blade. Lina still farming her Aghanim Scepter. Quinn, like his positioning was top tier in the previous fight. It's just that like once you fail to kill the Meepo, the fight's pretty over.
Yeah, and JT showing that he can just play frontline and the rest of his team can sit in fog, waiting for that perfect moment. Dyrachyo is playing forward here as Meepo does come in from behind. Losing a lot of HP, JT, but the Mega Meepo comes, pulverized, and Quinn from the high ground. Good positioning from the Lina, trying to hold on to this fight.
Back to full HP.
All fine, JT digs, and yeah, he's come back into this battle, fresh as ever. Straight forward onto the Gyrocopter. Monet now arriving with the Deso hits. The Terrorize is good, the onslaught over. Kills the Meepo the first time now. Can IG get over this staircase? It looks like they don't want to. Just allowing Gaming Gladiators to slip away for now.
That's something. They managed to kill Meepo. But for another fight, JT will have Scotty reducing that healing coming out from IO. You're also playing against 2 ranged cores, so that's going to be pretty massive, slowing them down on top of your ransack and just like putting them in place with Earthbind. I don't think people are going to move. I feel like these heroes on Gaming Gladiators, I like the way Dyrachyo is itemizing. He's still keeping up with the farm of Meepo, going for Aghanim Scepter, having that side gunner, picking up Maelstrom, going into Wilderness. So the way he's itemizing is he wants to kill the Meepo. He wants to damage him as much as possible. Who picked it up? Tofu. So that's going to be slightly more control in a team fight. 1 point in Curse Crown, 18-second cooldown, but eventually he'll get more points in it.
Yeah, that definitely becomes more and more valuable. There's another smoke move from G2.iG, still feeling like they're the strongest squad on the map right now. Quinn has already retreated. It doesn't get caught. And did try and cut in behind that tier 2 bottom lane. Again, Gladiator is making the most of this. Pushing out mid, pushing out top. Yeah, you're right. JT just kills the Tormentor himself, huh? Gets the shard for Nothing to Say for free.
There was a chance between him and Baboka, since Xnova bought one for himself on that 15-minute mark.
Enchantress scaling with a Hurricane Pike.
Baboka has been silent, he hasn't been in their faces or anything, had a little bit of a slower laning stage, so still wants to be able to scale. They don't even put points in Untouchable, which is very interesting. There's like a bunch of magical damage. You're playing against Primal Beast. You're playing against Gyrocopter with the side gunner. Burst damage from Lina. JT again in trouble. Let's see if they can execute.
It just turned the Mega Meepo. Now you've got a Soulbind. A couple of Phantom Embrace thrown out onto Gaming Gladiators. It gets cut short though, just with the Grimstroke appearing. Gaming Gladiators not feeling comfortable, but now they did force the move, force the defensive maneuver out of G2.iG, and now they still hold this high ground in the jungle. So they can actually cut across, carve through this northern part of the map in towards mid-tier 2 if they want to. Send G2.iG back. It's still so scary though. When the map is dark and you're against this Dire team that has Blink, Echo, Meepo jumping out of nowhere, Shukuchi and Weaver coming in. Very difficult to keep tabs on all of the angles of attack, right? You're playing in this top jungle. There's like, what, 4 staircases? They've gone for the long wraparound in from the western side. Gaimin Gladiator is smoking themselves, but look at Quinn. He could be the one that's isolated and picked off first.
That's a big kill if they can
get him. They blink Echo the Dark Willow first. That's the numbers advantage for G2.iG.
Immediate buyback.
From Tofu. Straight into battle, but look at Celery being picked off here. He pops the mech, heals himself up, but JT's arrived. Taking down the IO now, and Gyrocopter all alone. Shredded by Monet. The minus armor too much to handle, and now the Lina in serious trouble, killed off. The perfect play from G2.iG.
What an execution. They split him up nicely. First, the Echo Slam on Dark Willow so that he can't get any of the spells off. He can't control the fight, and love the build. Like, nothing to say. Instead of opting to go for Aghanim Scepter straight away, he gets BKB. He knows that there are some spells that go through the BKB, but he wants to have like free reign in a fight. If Primal Beast is not on top of him, he's not afraid of any of these heroes.
Yeah, I think right now G2. There really are too many Gs.
There
in
are
this
a lot
game.
of them. G2.iG.
Oh, goodness gracious, mate. Right, well, let's watch this back before we go back to it. Is this wraparound, the immediate jump and burst. Yes, you bought back for that Dark Willow to come in, but the fight is already scattered.
This
like I was saying,
massive Fissure. Sorry, Gary. He stun locks Dark Willow and then uses Fissure on both Io and Gyro, and then you'll see Monet instantly jumping onto Celery. They're not done.
Talking about Fissures, this Fissure has blocked the Gyro on the low ground. JT's come in, but Duracho does have the IO behind him now. So
Mega Meepo.
Mega Meepo back to full HP, basically. Full binds there on the Primal Beast as they try to charge forward, but Gaimin Gladiators can't catch up to them. G2.iG already out of there.
You need to be a hero specialist to be able to use Meepo in a professional game. He's going to try to TP out. Ace Onslaught was available, but did not catch the glimpse of him. Because I see this and I'm like, I'm panicking. I'm not even playing Meepo. Will he able to get out?
And gritting your teeth, biting your nails, curling your toes. He's JT. He'll manage. Yeah, really, as Gaimin Gladiators, as soon as you see this Meepo, you've got to know there's 4 heroes obscured by smoke or fog or invis or something, waiting, ready to strike behind him. And then as this game goes on, you start to get into these mind games of JT being given freedom, right? Where he can play with his multiple Meepo clones in multiple places on the map. And Gaimin Gladiators have got to be very delicate with how they approach the fights when he's involved. They can't burst him. They've tried and they've failed several times now.
That's what we mentioned, that they have heroes that are very difficult kills to get. Okay, extremely. This Weaver needs to be bursted from 100 to 0, otherwise, and they have extremely low limited amount of lockdowns, no instant stuns, so Weaver will be able to get the BKB off. You can see Monet opting to go for BKB as his third item. Earthshaker working towards that Aghanim Scepter, and now Meepo with the Blink Dagger, so his positioning is going to be much easier, finding the right targets, jumping onto this Lina before she can defend herself. Quinn has BKB in a quick buy, but that's he needs another couple of minutes to farm that.
Yeah, it's a decent change up here that we might have to see Ace be more selfless, give himself up and run into the fight just to break vision, just to give opportunities here to allow this Lina and Gyro, two pretty kind of glass cannon heroes with a lot of damage output but reasonably squishy, to unload their damage on people. We do have now BKBs and stuff being delivered out to them, so a bit more protection for Gaimin Gladiators to be able to stand their ground and fight. G2.iG, look at where they're sat, right next to that Radiant Observer Ward. Gaimin Gladiators, if there was ever a fight, this is the one. High ground for the Twin Gate belongs to them. Roshan Pit belongs to them. They've carved out this top left corner of the map, and then Hellbear, he's invading. He's come to encroach on their territory. A smoke from G2.iG, trying to reposition themselves.
There they are, Hellbear Smashers. Some of the members of the team.
The stand-ins just coming back in.
Observer ward placed near the outpost, couple of sentries around that area. They're also controlling the Watcher, but the full wraparound from G2.iG. BKB available now on Ace.
You see JT show, right? And Gaimin Gladiators, they've got to be afraid. JT will show himself to give the movement and the opportunity for the rest of his team to go in. He just dives on the Gyro straight away. Blink, Echo, Ratio getting blown up. They've got the final touch. Take him down, but they've got JT. The big kill there for GG.
Got to buy back immediately.
Now with the pulverized, now the saving thrown around, BKB's coming to an end. Celery's IO taken out by Monet. The backup carry has
look at the rainbows.
From JT comes back in, kills him off, and G2.iG shred through Gaimin Gladiators to control up Roshan.
And this is the type of a fight. You're fighting on your own terms. You do have outpost to TP2. Roshan is on your side. Still not enough. Like, Gyro's dealing tons of damage. JT has buyback available, and he's going to be the one picking up another Aegis. He was the one controlling the tempo of the game. So these type of buybacks are extremely valuable. We can see JT jumping onto Gyro immediately, then big Echo Slam. He's still going to die in the end, but the job was done. It's very difficult to kill all of their heroes, and you can see Quinn, once he uses his ulti, he kind of runs out of steam.
It's just like JT is doing some wild shit. Like, imagine you're playing chess against someone, and this opponent is like pushing your hand, making sure that you're shoving pieces you didn't want to shove. You know, he's running at Gaming Gladiators, forcing them to cast spells on it.
Move. I never played chess professionally, but so I don't know all the rules. He shouldn't be allowed to do.
He shouldn't be allowed to do this, but he's getting away with it. You know, it should be illegal. Gaming Gladiators, they have to cast spells on a hero that they don't want to. They do not want to cast spells on Meepo because he's too strong. And JT is saying, you gotta. I'm killing you guys if you don't cast spells on me, while the rest of his team is in smoke for 10 seconds, waiting, just waiting in the wings for something else to happen.
It always feels good when you have that like unkillable hero. This is why Wraith King is so popular. You have a hero that goes in and is like, yeah, what are you gonna do? Like, you're gonna kill me, I'm gonna slow you, Radiance Burn, oof. He just disappears.
Say goodbye, Tofu. Ace will get himself back to high ground, but yeah, spending BKB there has got to hurt a little bit. One more tier 2 left standing. Last outer tower about to get taken out by Monet.
He's trying. Does have enough damage to do so. Monet has been pretty silent in terms of what he does because JT stole over the show pretty much with his Meepo. It's also hard to see hero like Weaver, but deals ton of damage. He also can't play like super aggressive, and now going for the high ground. Look at the Boca. Those skeletons rally damage onto Meepos.
Oh, yeah, that's no joke. Deso going to work as well for Monet.
Extra 18 damage.
Hell yeah. It crumbles. Gaming Gladiator is going to have the foundation of their base shaken pretty hard here. Dire scan up top because there was a hero showing up there for a couple of seconds. He doesn't go jungle. He comes back to defend his base. A flat cannon and homing missile keeps them at bay for now. G2.iG not in a rush to do anything though. They still scale pretty well going into this late game.
Oh, absolutely.
Nothing is forcing their hand to go high ground again. They can come back, gather runes, take out tormentors, and an extra bit of farm on the map for themselves too. Just chill out and hold this high ground. Gaming Gladiators, you know they're locked up in their base. All the doors are closed. Quinn working on his BKB.
They need those BKBs ASAP. Gyrocopter has one. We've seen Ace having one in the previous fight. It's now down to 7 seconds.
Dire are scanning.
Meepo's level 22. That's massive.
Gaming Gladiators going for this Tormentor. They've got to get it done quickly. Just in time before G2.iG are there in position. A shard for Celery, not a bad one. Slow resistance. That spell lifesteal. Pretty nice for the Gyro. Quinn out on the map trying to farm the outskirts. Get to that BKB before this next fight properly kicks off. But it's such a good spot to be in as G2.iG. They've taken bottom lane so they can play in that Radiant Triangle. Push into 2 lanes at the same time. The classic, pincer movement, right? Shove top, shove mid. Don't really show yourselves, just clear waves. And your enemies are going to be forced to keep on defending.
JT also has 5,000 gold in the bank, about to finish off his Hex. Doesn't have buyback available, but Hex is going to be massive. Needs another 100 gold. Sending out the courier as we speak. 45 seconds left on Aegis.
There are very few players or heroes that have the freedom and the balls to just stand in front of a Gaming Gladiators high ground, as JT did just then. Taking a lot of damage, though. Can he get himself out of this with a big Mega Meek? Oh, no, he's lost his first life. Maybe overconfidence as Gaming Gladiators ready themselves, but the real Meepo, he's off to the east.
Kind of failed with the Mega Meepo. It's only 600 radius that you pick up other Meepos from, and he was slightly too far away from them.
Still no chase from Gaimin Gladiators, though. They don't want to break out of their base. This net worth lead only going to accelerate now for G2.iG.
Radiant are scanning.
Gyro's getting pretty big, though. 19,000 net worth. Got himself a hefty amount of items. Butterfly up next. Feud for Dyrachyo.
That flat cannon, it goes out so quickly in a matter of seconds when Celery uses overcharge.
Physical burst damage. And an AoE.
Baboka finally gets the shard. JT kills another Tormentor alone. I like how Baboka is camouflaging his items into like support items. Ooh, BKB already used.
Oh, double BKB. Quinn gonna TP. So Quinn just bought that BKB. Has to use it defensively. Nothing to say, or also trading his out. As Tofu TP'd out at the same time.
To go back to my point, Baboka buys like a 4-staff, turns that into a pike, so it's like, okay, I have some kind of a save if it's necessary, then gets Hand of Midas to be able to get more support, quote-unquote, items more than Bill's Pipe of Insight, and now, from now, it's just going to be damage.
Yeah, Monet, speaking of damage, just annihilates that poor little Io. Look at that. 1,561. Almost 900 of it. Physical instant damage from Geminate attack.
Level 20 plus 90 Geminate attack. Weaver talents are so good. Like having one extra Geminate attack on level 25.
JT's
level
gonna
15 mana break. JT is going to get another one.
Well,
This game, oof. Ace does have buyback, but they could go in and poke. 45 seconds. JT needs to be slightly more careful. Echo Slam is available 20 seconds until Nothing to Say gets his BKB.
Yeah, pretty smart there from Ace, honestly. Oh, well, look at that. Dyrachyo and Quinn unloading onto Meepo, but he's into Mega Mode, so not really being touched too hard. But yeah, nice move by Ace to hold his BKB, knowing he'll need BKB for a proper fight, because if he BKBs and still dies there, you know, game could potentially just be over. But holding BKB and buyback, knowing that he's going to be required to dive deep here, dig deep into his pockets to find something magical to hold back G2.iG. 4 staff away for Baboka to get to safety. This is a stranglehold that Dire have had on this map for the past 10 minutes or so.
We said that it's a really, really good game to buy Eye of Scotty, but I didn't mean to buy double Eye of Scotty. That's how good of a game it is. You're playing against Io, reducing that healing against 2 cores, reducing the healing on Primal Beast, Heart of Tarask. Second Eye of Scotty. I don't recall a game last time I've seen it. I've seen like double Deso, I've seen double Urn, which is a bit of a grief. I've seen double Radiance during TI, which is not a grief, but
I've seen double
Scotty,
AC.
Yeah, the double Scotty feels nice in this game. You want to have some extra stats, and as Weaver, you can still replace a lot of your items, finish off your Daedalus, sell Power Treads, sell your Dragonlance, get whether you need a Linken's, whether you need a Satanic.
Yeah, super handy. A minute 40 for Roshan to come back up. Could be spawned now, and that's why Gaimin Gladiators are trying to break out of their base. They'll come in contact with Nothing to Say. Shield runes up, and he's very tanky. Look in the back. Monet, meanwhile, he's on the Celery, and JT, he's found Dyrachyo. Half HP Gyro, BKBing and running, but the net is there. A quick Hurricane Pike away as Ace blocks out the Meepo. BKB'd up and trying to run. Turns and thinks about fighting. But G2.iG, they've come and killed the IO, lost the Earthshaker at the same time. So both teams going to be content with just relaxing and not going for more blood.
JT still doing Meepo things. Nothing to Say got bursted by Lean-Up immediately in that fight. It's extremely difficult to defend yourself. Like, you get jumped, you get one LSA from really far away. And as you said, Gaimin Gladiators, they are trying to figure out whether this Roshan did spawn or not. And JT goes back to the top lane. 50 seconds. Using a scan. They don't know. The map is pretty dark for them.
Another BKB from Quinn as well. You see JT appear on your screen, you know you could be instantly hexed and killed, so you just have to do it. This entire game, like every move is knife's edge Dota. So much on the line here, just in game 1. 7 to 25, 14k lead. Props to Gaimin Gladiators, you know, staying in this, keeping it competitive in terms of who can actually take team fights depending on initiation, depending on how you're actually spellcasting in the midst of chaos. Ace's Primal Beast getting tankier and tankier. Looking at that Shiver's Guard up next. And Roshan about to spawn. Radiant Scan doesn't clip any of these G2.iG heroes. They are forwardly placed right in front of the noses of Gaming Gladiators, and JT, the first point of contact, Earth Device, and the Echo, straight on the gyro, and look at these impetus shots. Baboka shreds him. They've got a pulverize there, but Ace is stuck all alone. Quinn will try to come in and help. JT, nothing to say, dropping
oh, gets the Mega Meepo.
He's out of there. No, Quinn, you can win 1v1s, but you're not in a 1v1. This is like a 9 versus 1. There's like 5 Meepos, 10 heroes.
Gyro disappeared. They literally have like 9-10 heroes on top of him. Like, it's not much you can do. And Meepo hits level 25, so 1 extra clone coming out from him. Monet's gonna get another solo kill. Gyro, like, there's nothing he can do. You can see also Celery getting rooted, so that means that there's not gonna be relocate coming out from him. Laguna Blade, Mega Meepo instantly. Now, he was so close to dying. I don't think it would matter as much, but JT now is going to be picking up that Aegis. Level 25, 5 Meepos.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Was that Laguna on the Weaver or the Meepo? I'm not even sure. Either way, G2.iG get away. Oh, JT again. Tries to blink Hex. Doesn't want to follow through, just putting the fear into Ace's Primal Beast. It really is just that surprise factor from the Meepo appearing from fog, siphoning you and killing you almost immediately. And Gaming Gladiators will lose another lane of barracks up top. Duraccio frontlining, trying to chip away. And JT's Meepo.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
First blink picked up by him. First crown, onslaught. Oh, off he goes. Zooming away.
He has almost 7,000 HP with that extra 25 clone and all the stats items. It's getting ridiculous.
To witness every
point.
time. Yeah. Buyback status-wise, we've got the Io as the only Radiant hero currently sitting with enough money for buyback. Very likely the case is going to be that G2.iG come and knock in once more. Just a lane of barracks mid, and they're still holding that Aegis and cheese.
Let's shake things up.
Oh yeah, that's the good stuff.
Couple of bounty runes. Nice little bonus for him.
There is no that like one big play that Gaming Gladiators can do. They don't have that hero, you know, to turn the whole fight around with something. They need Duraccio to get multiple flag cannons, but he's getting jumped, and I think he needs a Divine Rapier for the next fight. Has that one in quick buy, but still needs to farm another 3.5k gold somehow.
Oh, Quinn! Oh, gets up his BKB just in time. Now, pulverized, Gyro standing and fighting, taking the cooldown. Throw the light strike array towards them. This just feels like it's over now, though, as Monet opens up. JT and nothing to say have freedom to do what they want. Io Gyro will buy back, but you're losing your last lane of barracks mid. A couple of catapults. And Baboka shredding through the buildings.
Mega Meepo's in.
In we go.
Out.
Duraccio BKB's up, and now Ace is the target of choice. Shredded. Killed off with no buyback available. Duraccio in trouble, getting netted over and over again, and Celery, the focus for Baboka as JT triple net, gets on top of them. Quinn will fly over the throne, but that's not going to last too long now. GG is called as the Gyro dies to Monet's Weaver. Grabbing the ultra kill, where is the Rampage diving fountain? JT going deep for it, but Quinn has bought a Ghost Scepter. Snubs them in the base.